From broke to boss, I flipped the script. Super Trucker Podcast got me fully equipped. Left the noise behind, now I'm stacking green. Voyager Nation made me live the dream.
Today, we're gonna talk shit about your favorite dispatcher. Why you're one good dispatcher team away from success. Let's talk about it. All right. Poor dispatch ruins good drivers.
Yes, that is a definite yes. Now, it doesn't actually mean people automatically, I feel, are going to go to bad rates, poor dispatcher. And that's not what we're talking about. I think a poor dispatcher is a guy who's not informing you of what the market looks like, of what your possibilities of running that week to meet your goals are going to be. And the guy that is not challenging you just because you like a certain area and, you're not communicating. You're not shooting ideas back and forth.
I kind of disagree. I think poor dispatcher ruins good drivers because he's poor. And serious dispatchers, we make money. And if a guy is poor, he probably sucks as a dispatcher.
All right, well, I think we're saying the same thing because a poor dispatcher is a yes, sir. And if you're just telling him, I want to do this, and he's yesing you to death and there's no money,
yes,
you end up in the same spot. So
yes, but I think it's probably more related to the second point. Average dispatchers don't fight for top rates.
Oh, okay.
That's right there. That's right here. We're talking about yes men dispatchers who are. We're not gonna confront you. So imagine if the dispatcher is just agreeing with everything that you say, doesn't have his own mind of how everything should work. Then how do you think he's talking to the brokers and customers?
Which leads us to the next one. Communication gaps cost you hours. And yes, because if he is not that guy, then he's not fighting for you to get, let's say you're stuck and you're trying to get offloaded and somehow something happened with the paperwork and your appointment time, you're there on time. And if he's not, and if he's just waiting for an email to come through without picking up the phone and, hey, what the fuck? My guy needs to move. My guy needs to go. I was there on time. Your asses better start looking for a cross dock, whatever is necessary to make your guy moving, and just has that communication gap and lets hours roll by just to get an update. I think that's a major problem.
I agree. So I think communication in general is the key to success in trucking, because the dispatcher and owner-operator is the team that needs to work together like a clock, and the communication has to be spotless. Because every time, sometimes here and there, I would see, the dispatcher complaining about some owner-operator who's never answering the phone. His preference is text messages. I don't know how that relationship can be effective. I understand, for example, if I deliver the load at midnight and, I'm just going to sleep and, call me tomorrow when you have a load, I'll text you, empty, going to bed, talk to you in the morning. Call me when you have something.
Right.
But everything else, it should be very proactive communication. Anytime you arrive at the shipper, boom, at the shipper. You in the dock, I'm in the dock. Even as a driver, most of you guys, when you go to the receiver, you kind of sense how long is that gonna take. Just based on the situation, the people, the other trucks there.
Your surroundings.
Yeah, so a lot of times you arrive and you see this little Speedy Gonzalez with a forklift. You're gonna be out of there in fucking 15 minutes.
Yeah, if he's still there anymore, Mike.
we may have to go rescue him from what's that thing called?
Alligator Alley, whatever that.
Alligator Alcatraz. Man, by the way, I was just for shits and giggles, I was planning the escape from Alligator Alcatraz with AI. And you know what? I have a plan. Actually, if you guys, this is not legal advice, but if you guys want to escape from Alligator Alcatraz, the best months of the year to do that is coldest morning in the winter. Because that's when all the alligators are going to be the least active. And if your choices are being eaten by alligator or live free or die in a freaking El Salvador super prison, I'll take my chances with alligator on a cold January morning.
Okay, so I got about fucking
No, but check this out.
6 months.
No, but check this out. It also like the ChatGPT was like suggesting like you need to prep, so you need to pack the right things and everything else. Pack like who do you ask? Like the security guard to give you a fucking to-go package?
But man, like, you know, I'm still stuck on like in the winter. Like ever since I moved to Florida, it's like I don't know when it begins or ends, guys. It's always just fucking hot. So
No, it's yeah, I agree. It's all the same. But like if you know if you ever in that place, man, you better remember that conversation.
I'm sure you're earmarked though with that. All right, so getting back to it, where were we? Voyager's proactive dispatch strategies.
Yeah, so again, everything comes down to communication, communication. I think one of the biggest mistakes that owner-operators and dispatchers make, we see each other as enemies, as members of a wrong team, when in reality, these are the two most important people in the game.
Yeah, I agree. I think that relationship is what's going to make or break your business.
Yeah, so the way we do here at Voyager, obviously communication is the key. As a matter of fact, like we have one policy, like very, very strictly pushing against non-communication. So for example, if the driver is not communicating, all the loads must be canceled.
Yeah, because you cannot operate, and I hope he's on his way.
Yeah, because that's just not a good business. And, you know, like, for some of you, you know, like, guys that are so pro-owner-operator and so against the dispatcher, at the end of the day, some of the bad apples are gonna hurt you as an owner-operator. Because, for example, if owner-operator who doesn't give a shit burns the customer, and now it affects you because now that customer doesn't want to give any more freight to Voyager.
Yeah, for sure.
And or at least even if we do give freight, then now it starts affecting the rates because now you're no longer a priority carrier.
And that happens, you know, that like to everybody's surprise, like that can happen so fast. It's not even funny. All it takes is one bad experience.
No, absolutely. And again, like we the carriers, we do the same thing. So for example, some broker fucks up like really badly. Like we will put them, you know, on do not use list as well. But I would say it takes a lot more for us to put the customer or broker on do not use list, because what we're gonna do, we're gonna, for the most part, try to work things out and only put them on do not load if that's mission impossible. Then on the other hand, like a lot of brokers, like, do we even like pay attention to who is putting who on do not load?
Yeah, and you know, putting someone on a do not use list is one thing. You know, it can easily escalate to the extreme of getting a freight card, right? And then it goes beyond those. It goes beyond that load because now other brokers that had nothing to do with anything of those events are chiming in and not giving you a load just because, you know,
yes,
there's a reason.
And again, it can be a lot more painful if this is your first or second year in business, you know, or if this is your 15th, 20th year in business, because at the end of the day, you know, like, okay, one freight guard in 10 years, shit happens, it's trucking, right?
Yeah.
So usually that goes away pretty quickly. But if you start getting them regularly, you're fucked. Yeah, you're cooked. All right. Planning ahead. No. Know your numbers before you roll. That's very important piece. Never operate in the gray. Never operate in the hope. Always know the numbers. So, for example, if your dispatcher is telling you, like, hey, I need you to go here and there and do this or that, put the money to bed right away. So there is nothing in the gray. There is no expectations of some sort, or, you know, like now everybody is in feelings. No, it should always be discussed, like how much and business. as usual.
Because I mean, again, we have some guys that have extremely healthy relationships with their broker, with their dispatchers, and those dispatchers are booking loads without even running it by those drivers because they already have that comfort zone. They know the goal, they know the numbers, they know how to get there. So they have that light conversation. They're just not wasting time on too much time.
Yes,
on,
but that's different from like entering the gray areas. That actually, what you're describing is perfect relationship between owner operator and dispatcher. Because if I'm your dispatcher and if I feel that we have a relationship to where I can book a load before calling you, you're probably gonna end up doing a hell of a lot better. Because we're not gonna lose some good loads just because while I'm talking to you and explaining you my plan and details, somebody else snatched that load. If that was any good,
right? Yeah, because it's gonna go.
Yeah, because good loads we're not gonna stick around. At least not in this market. Even though the market is actually improving significantly.
Owner-operator partnership is very real. I got tons of guys who are making $4,000 take-home. Learn how you can do that by giving me a call at 863-342-5171. We are conveniently located in Lakeland, Florida. We are a Florida-based trucking company that is here to provide you resources to be successful. So once again, it's 863-342-5171. Planning ahead for
better reloads. That's a continuation of what I just said. For a dispatcher to plan perfect week, he needs to have a little bit like wiggle room. He needs to be able to do things without you micromanaging him.
Yeah.
And for example, if I have like a super complicated owner operator that just like he doesn't see me as a business partner, he sees me as a enemy, it becomes so much more difficult for zero good reasons.
Yeah, and it's interesting you even bring this one up because just yesterday, man, they were talking about a reload and better planning, and there's a situation, the guy's doing really good. He's up to $5,000 before that weekend load. But in this situation, it just may make more sense to bring that guy to Florida to get him right back out, turn and burn on Monday, because there's already a reload that kicks ass leaving Monday. Mm-hmm. So giving your dispatcher that freedom when he lined up a few good events, man, that could make the difference. Even if it's not your traditional move, but you got that one banger that's going to make it happen.
Yes, I think obviously, the trust and respect has to be earned, but at the same time, I would invite anybody watching this video, consider giving your dispatcher wiggle room and help them to feel more free to make hard decisions, because if you always keep them against the wall, responsible for everything that happens, it's already hard enough.
Yeah, no.
So I think in a good relationship, like back in the day, we used to do freight consolidation. So like if it's hit or miss. If you hit, you can do really, really good, like super good. And if you miss, the truck is gonna go for a little bit less than market standard.
Yeah.
The only way for those super good things to happen on a regular basis is only possible if there is a understanding between owner operator and dispatcher that there are going to be mistakes, there are going to be mishappenings, adjustments. And look, it's if you're making a killing like multiple times in a row, and now you have one this less than ideal load, and now you're burning that relationship, those good things that happened to you was only possible because there was an understanding that when bad shit is gonna happen, you're gonna kind of step up.
Yeah, I think that example you give is actually, man, that's not for everybody. It has to be both parties have to be that unique individual in order for something like that to work. You can't just do that with anybody.
Yeah, but I think the whole situation of as an owner operator, you're not a worker. You're a businessman. As a dispatcher, you also not exactly an employee. You're almost like very entrepreneurial manager.
Yeah, because you are controlling cash flow to companies. It takes a different spirit to do that, and even your own, because most guys are incentivized.
Yes. So expectation is when two business people meet, we should act accordingly, right?
Yeah.
To help each other to advance the business.
And there will be sometimes there's a bad deal that goes down, but you can't. There should be more good deals than bad deals.
And for the most part, it is more good deals than bad deals. But again, the only reason those good deals are happening when there is a mutual understanding, when there is going to be a little challenge, we're going to work on it.
Here we go.
All right. Dispatch affects fuel efficiency. That too. If you don't have communication with dispatcher, like I've seen a couple of times, dispatchers complaining. I'm not going to call out any names, but man, I can't believe this driver was empty since freaking 10 a.m. this morning, and he just now called me, and it's 5 p.m. on Friday. What the fuck? So that's not a good communication. So that obviously, again, if we're talking about fuel, that's not just time lost, that's fuel lost because you probably were sitting and idling all this time and so on and on. So, also bad route planning, everything else, all that has affected your fuel economy, and fuel is your highest cost in your owner-operator business. The value of real-time negotiation. Well, that's what's up.
Yeah, I guess that kind of falls into the previous one where if given the opportunity at 10 a.m. or actually 9 a.m. when almost empty, that's go time, baby. That's when we should have been looking for that reload, not 5 o'clock. So if that's what this is referencing.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the time is always now. So that's important. Respect and loyalty. Pretty much this is what we're talking throughout this whole video. Respect and loyalty, because that's a partnership.
Yeah.
Dispatcher and owner-operator are two partners that unless we can work as a solid partnership, the results are always going to be less than ideal. I never had a driver that kind of doesn't see that partnership at all doing well. Not because I'm punishing him for it.
No.
Just because it's very difficult to work. You need to have a nice, clean, smooth communication. You need to have mutual understanding about things, and you both have to push for the same results and help each other.
Yeah, and I think a lot of guys, like you said earlier, it's that them versus us or type mentality, right? Because even if we cross into, even if it's a safety situation already, it's not like we're immune from the problem that's happening. They just want it to go away. I understand that. But if they're not communicating what's happening, then it's hard to mitigate or manage that piece of information for the best possible outcome to happen. And that comes with the load, any discrepancies with the load, overages, damages, you name it. So, we're both affected by the same event.
Yes. And the last point is it is extremely important to understand that partnership is not babysitting.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we have some of people that actually think it is babysitting. I'm not going to call out any names, but we have some people that joined Voyager as a babysitting service. Which we are not. We're not advertising for it at all. We just kind of we are professionals for professionals, but sometimes we're getting misclassified badly. So, all right, guys, if you see your dispatcher as babysitter, grow up and start treating your own business as business, because that's the only way out of that hole. That's the only way to see success, and that's the only way for you to eventually, come back to the comment section and say, man, I actually did good and killed it, and I achieved something, and not be a little crybaby saying like trucking is dead, everybody hurt me, and like I feel offended.
Yeah,
Like, and we need government to regulate our babysitters.
to help regulate me.
Yeah. All right, guys, be safe out there. Drive safe. If you're looking for a best carrier east of Mississippi, give us a call, 863-342-5171. We are always looking for professional owner-operators who are looking for partnerships, not babysitters. So be safe out there, and we'll talk to you in the next video.
Be safe. Keep earning.
Okay.
Operators looking for the best business owner opportunity, look no further. I got all the programs that are going to make you successful. Everything to operating from 2 different fuel cards, top of the line trailers with a maintenance program that is unbeatable, to plates, insurance, you name it, we got it. All you got to do is give us a call, 863-342-5171. Learn more and get started.